Good morning and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I want you guys to know how much I appreciate you so much. All of my old subscribers, all of my new subscribers, all of my future subscribers, I appreciate you guys so much as we continue to go up. If you have not gotten a membership, please do get a membership and join the book club, you guys. The book club is growing so much, okay? And I have so many things planned for that book club. Like, it is so many people joining. I just want you guys to know that I appreciate you so much as the channel grow. A vision that God had given me that I had written down and made plain, okay? And He is manifesting it and making it fruitful. And I could not do that without you guys. So I want you all to know I definitely do appreciate that. You guys make this channel exactly what it is. I couldn't do it without y'all, right? All the different personalities and stuff. As I say, this is the real grown folks channel. We agree to disagree and push on, child. I don't like all that heaviness over here. When I start feeling that pressure of heaviness, I have to go on here. I can't have that heaviness, but um, we keep it light and we keep it right, and that's how I like it, right? Um, I wanted to talk about straight drop. I've been screaming this for almost a year, and I don't hear a lot of people talk about it, as it relates to this. Um, because I think people kind of talk about the obvious, um, because of how flamboyant certain characters have been in this Young Dolph's case, right? But Moneybagg Yo has been one of the ones to go up under the radar. Okay. He has been one of the ones to go up under the radar. And before people come over here and say, you try to throw Moneybagg up under the bus, I'm not. I'm not trying to throw Moneybagg up under the bus. I'm not hating on Moneybagg. Moneybagg is talented. Moneybagg I mean, we can't take his talent from him. He is talented, but we have to think about now the murderer of Young Dolph was hanging out with Moneybagg's artist. Okay. Um, and got features, like right afterwards with Moneybags artists. Now there was rumors that Stray Drop was signed to Big Jook's management company. That has not been confirmed, but that's definitely a rumor, and I think we should take a closer look at that too. I know we look at the obvious, such as like Black Youngster and all of them, because Black Youngster um, wanted for people to know, right? Whatever his disdain was, which to this day I don't understand because the beef was not with Black Youngster and Young Dolph, right? So I just think a lot of sane minded people still cannot understand how another man could jump into a beef and take it this far, right? I'm not a shrink though. I don't really know how sadistic the mind can get, but we do know that it can get to that, right? Um, but one of the obvious things I've always felt like, even when we hear people talk about Black Youngster is disgruntled, okay? Um, you know, I I don't I feel like it's something going on, right? As it relates to that because of stuff that he had posted this year on social media. We don't see them promoting him. He put out an album. As a matter of fact, put out one last year too, closer to the end of last year, More Than a Man or something, and they didn't really push that either. It seems like that they've been trying to for a while, disassociate themselves from him. And I think he feels betrayal. I think he feels a certain amount of betrayal because maybe there were other people involved, and let's just say people like the money bags who's bringing in a whole lot of money. um, I'm sure a record head would definitely try and protect the bag. Record heads definitely try and protect their bag. And so, it's just surprising to me that people don't look a whole lot, or don't focus a whole lot into that, because Moneybagg is a very talented artist. But just in watching him, and I don't watch, I guess I've started looking at him a little bit more than I normally do. um it seems like to me, he's, even though he's trying to hold it together, he's kind of falling apart too, whether people want to know it or not, want to believe it or not. um a lot of people that surround this Young Dolph's case, whether they say it or not, most men will not say it, okay, have been falling apart, because God is not going to allow them to stay together. What they did was they took out a young man that was a father, and all of that, a son, a husband, um, that was providing for his community, for the dudes around him. Um, God had given the wisdom to attain a wealth of knowledge as it relates to the music industry, that wanted to help to put some of the young dudes, as it relates to the record industry, up on some game and not make them slaves, right? And that is someone that they took out. But I think people should pay close attention to that. That Straight Drop started to get features from Moneybagg Yo's artists. Um, hey, I, I never had any issues with Big Homie G. He's made certain comments like, Gotti is the king of Memphis. I do believe in all of that. But hey, we anybody can believe or say whatever it is that they want to believe and say. But we know that that is one of the reasons you have to think about, because he has some type of affiliation with that label, right? This is one of the reasons why Young Dolph is in his grave, because he dared to feel like he was great, right? I'm the king. If you don't think you're a king, you's a damn fool. If you don't think you something, nobody else will. And so Young Dolph thought a lot of himself, as he should, right? And a bunch of cuckabug heads sent out a bunch of weak-minded people to take him out, because he thought a lot of himself. But I think, people, should digest that, just kind of entertain it. Think about it. Why was Straight Drop shortly after Young Dolph was assassinated? Um, and I know that the young man, I can't think of, I just said his name. Homie G had addressed that. He was like, he messed with Straight Drop before, and they kind of make light of what Straight Drop did. He was like, why should he stop messing with him just because of what he is accused of? They had already did the song. Yeah, that's because it was understood. When did they do the song? Did they do the song right after they started plotting, as they said, in June? We saw him hanging around a lot of those artists, as if they was grooming him for something. And it's something that it was Moneybags artists, that he was hanging around. I didn't see him hanging around, Black Youngster has artists. I didn't see him hanging around Little Migos. I'm not saying that he didn't. We just didn't see him. But we more so saw him hanging with Moneybagg Yo's artist, which is very interesting, right? Yeah, so I'm sure Moneybagg approved of it. That's why when people put into the atmosphere that Moneybagg has issues with um people saying free Straight Drop, I don't know if he does or not. When they were saying his art, he was into it with one of his old artists. I can't think of the young man's name. When he said, "Get a chain back," he said, "Come and get it," and then he said, "Free Straight Drop." It goes to show uh it that it speaks that speak it's a lot to, if you read into it and not overthink. I mean, I think all the answers are there. Straight Drop was doing, we see how Gotti thinks a lot of Moneybagg, because Moneybagg brings in a lot of money. I believe that Moneybagg brings he might bring in more than Glorilla right now. Um, but yeah, he might bring in more. He might. I don't know. Because we see Glorilla, they spend a lot of money on advertisement as it relates to Glorilla. We know she ain't making no money, but I don't know how much Gotti is making off of her. Um, but Gotti thinks a lot of Moneybagg, and because Straight Drop was doing something that you know somebody wanted done way back in 2016, 2017. Young Dolph was a big artist. I think he was finessed really, really good. Being up under Moneybagg, being up under his artists, he was finessed really, really good. Him and some of his team members. Um, and you know, hey, I think about that quite a bit, and I don't really hear people focus on that. We focus on the obvious. It's good to focus on the obvious, but people kind of overlook other people because of how chill their personality is. When we've heard stories about how, I mean, he only really got quiet after Young Dolph was assassinated. He stayed on it. He would get a jump on the Instagram too, and he said, I remember they've scrubbed the internet. This is how we know that um some people think highly of him. They scrub the internet of everything as far as it relates to the public, because they can't do a damn thing as it relates to the feds. Um, but I remember him being on live talking about, I got money to play. What's up? I got money to play. So he was letting it be known that he'll drop a bag. You know what I mean? So when people say, well, nah, he ain't like that. I don't know if he was involved. He wasn't like that. You think about it now. Rest in peace, Young Dolph dropped this jewel last year in my when he was coming up on my panel. Okay, about Moneybagg Yo, and Kenny Money. When people say, well, they were friends, they all was cool. At some point, Young Dolph was cool with Moneybagg. He was cool with Gotti. So that means nothing when they're showing pictures of Key Glock and Teasy, or when they're showing pictures of Kenny Paper Route Wu with Trula Mafia. Because you see pictures of Young Dolph with Trula Mafia, and ain't nobody took Young Dolph by his damn hand and said, look, Dolph, I want you to hang around True the Mafia so they could kill you. Folks killed me with that shit. Okay. All of these people had some type of familiarity with each other, right? Straight Drop might have started hanging around Key Glock more because he was trying to get in, but Young Dolph already knew Straight Drop because he had some type of relationship with True Mafia, and it was not by way of Key Glock. So that's why when people try to stand on their soapbox and jump up on my panels and things of that nature and try to put that venom into the atmosphere, I cut them at their knees, because I can't allow stuff that I know is untrue. And folks get mad at me, but they're gonna have to go ahead and get over it. Okay. Um, they're gonna have to get over it, because I just don't allow people to jump up on my platforms and put stuff into the atmosphere that is not true. Okay, so the people that send trolls over to my platform to try to influence my chat, it's not gonna work out, because I'm not gonna let it happen. I'm not gonna turn into a national inquirer. Okay, I refuse to let my channel turn into that. There's too many of them already. Okay. But I think that's something, and I've been resting peace, Young, Dolph. Shout out to him, because he's always dropping jewels. He's been dropping jewels for over a year in my chat. He's helped a lot of people on YouTube. Okay. Because a lot of the jewels that's dropped in my chat come from him, and a lot of people steal them. Okay. Which is cool. They just refuse to say where they got it from, and that's cool too. We already know the crabs in the bucket mentality, right? Um, I have to go ahead and turn my baby head, because child, she like to lay on her face. I don't like that. But you know, Moneybagg is now because Gotti had been staying out of the country, and we know that that is very suspicious. Okay, he might say, "Well, I'm out the country because I got the money to be out of the country. I want to travel, anyways." Um, but now they're saying Moneybagg Yo is on vacation. Now it ain't nothing wrong. He's over there in the Caribbean or somewhere. It ain't nothing wrong with taking vacations, okay, and being out of the country. But when if he stay gone for a month or two, we gonna know something ain't right, okay? We're gonna know something ain't right, okay? Because I've been saying from the for the very longest that he never passed the smell test. I think there are a lot of people that took part in um, plotting to take a human life, which is sad to me. I just don't understand it. I wouldn't, don't get me started because I'm mellowed out, okay? Because y'all know I'm on my fast, okay? I fast for the better part of the day, but I don't understand it. I just don't. A bunch of grown men, a bunch of older men, and I don't care if they call themselves gangsters or not. They know that what they plotted and what they set the atmosphere and created in that atmosphere for this young man to be assassinated. It was not right at all. And now they're trying to haul ass. Okay. But God says, when I get them back for what they did, you're going to see me get them back. Okay. But I think it's something to watch. I'm sure God is tormenting everybody that was involved, whoever that may be. And, Black youngsters feeling some kind of way because I'm going to tell you something. The stage was set for Straight Drop to take the fall. I don't know who brought Cornelius in. It must have been um Trula Mafia. It must have been um because we heard Jamarcus say that he was calling Straight Drop for his money. Okay. And as we said, they got those phones, so we don't know what was in those phones. But either way it goes, for some reason they immediately went and got him a high powered attorney, even before they got Straight Drop a high powered attorney. Okay. The stage was the atmosphere was always for, especially they knew somebody had to go down. Especially when they knew how the folks was on their tails. They 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 was gonna sell Straight Drop on up the river. They was gonna sell him on up there. As a matter of fact, they did. And I really believe that at some point, Teasy was the liaison for Straight Drop getting that attorney. Okay, um, and then they took Teasy out. Okay, and then they took Teasy out. But this is interesting. I have so much going through my mind, and I have to, when I start thinking about what I can say and what I can't say, I go ahead and just try to end the video, right? I just go ahead and just end it because it'd be so much that I want to say. But I think that this is something. I've always said it, something to pay close attention to. It is something to question, at least. It is definitely, something to question. I know I'm not omitting anybody else. Trust me. I'm just I'm just simply, you know, telling people to keep an open mind, as it relates to anything that don't seem right because they was definitely, finessing him. And I'm going back to what I'm saying. We knew that they had set him up, or their plans was to set him up when he was up under the impression that Art Horn was going to be his attorney. And I thought I heard Art Horn say that his client was going to turn himself in. I thought I heard him say it. Maybe I'm senile. But then later on, he went on to say that he never said that and he didn't know who he was, and his staff and family told him he was the young man accused of taking out Young Dolph, and he's not representing anybody accused of taking out Young Dolph. Now, you've been representing people that has been in trouble for trying to consistent that had a consistent pattern of messing over trying to mess over this boy life. Everybody outside of the United States knew that Straight Drop was on the run and he had been charged with the murder of Young Dolph. And you trying to tell me a CMG attorney in Memphis that's stationed in Memphis then? But hey, if he say he didn't, I ain't got no choice but to believe it, right? Because I'm not in his damn head. Okay. But y'all, I think that it gets more and more interesting. You have to think about it. You know, a few months back it was 200,000 pages. We already know it's over that now, right? And they said that they got their chessboard and stuff out, but it's interesting. I think that's something to pay close attention to. But let me go back because y'all know I be all over the place because I get to thinking about what I could talk about. But I'm going back to Straight Drop now. Straight Drop, they threw him up under the bus. They was intending to sell him up the river, and they know people like Straight Drop. He's got kids and stuff out there. Number one, and number two, he don't want the jacket on his back uh of snitching, right? So they was intending to just let him take the whole rap by himself. They didn't know what Cornelius was gonna do, just like he Lord stop me. Okay. And so they immediately worked at getting him a attorney. Okay, they got him a high powered attorney to ensure. See, they knew Straight Drop, you know what I mean? But they didn't know what kind of animal really that they would be dealing with Cornelius, right? So they hurry up and put a pacifier in his mouth with that high powered attorney to try to keep it shut. And it is in my opinion. But now, Black youngster, as they see, um, how the folks are onto them. I'm talking about whoever it is that's involved. Okay, I'm just saying whoever. Okay, whoever that may be. Um, they start to throw people up under the bus that they feel like is expendable, right? Disposable. Okay, so they did it to Straight Drop. They took Teasy got taken out. Um, hey, Quet. I keep telling y'all, Quet's people threw him up under the bus. Okay, and it wasn't Teasy. Okay, I don't believe. Okay, um, I'll say in my opinion. Okay, because Lord stop me. I have to control myself. But I lost my train of thought on that because it was something I wanted to say so bad. Um, they threw Quet up under the bus, okay? And so as they see now that the government is just not happy because there are too many people that's focused on this case. Young Dolph's family want justice. All people all around the world want justice, okay? So they keep moving up, okay? Okay, they got Quet. They threw Quet up under the bus. They've gotten Teasy. Hey, Moneybagg is the bag. So they want some more people. We're gonna have to send Black youngster is disposable. And I really that's probably what's in the atmosphere. And that is one of the reasons why I feel like he's so angry because he felt like he was one of them and they're showing him that he's not. He's disposable. They want somebody. Hey, I said it last year. I said if it comes down to anybody, he's gonna preserve himself. But if it comes to his brother and anybody else, he's gonna protect his brother. Right? Now I don't know if Moneybagg make a lot of money. I'd be interested to know if he'll choose his brother over Moneybagg. He probably would, right? But hey, I don't know. But I feel like they feel like You know, they're gonna do whoever, and I ain't saying whoever these folks are. I ain't gonna say Gotti, whoever is at the top. At this point, they feel like Black youngster is disposable, and they know that the feds is hunting. They hunting. They eating them. They're eating them. Okay, and so they feeding anybody that they feel is disposable to the feds, thinking, will this satisfy them? And it's just Black youngster's turn. Okay. What he don't know is the atmosphere had already been set when they was pushing him out front to do those videos and things of that nature, because they wanted all of that negative energy on him. They wanted people to know that it came from them, but they wanted all of the heat to be on Black youngster. Unfortunately, he didn't know it at that point, but I'm sure he knows it now. Okay. So the stage was being set for him to be fed to the feds. If it got past, quit them. He just didn't know it. Okay. He just didn't know it at that point. But it's going to be interesting after the feds, the next person that the feds eat. The belly still ain't gonna be full. Who they gonna feed after the next person is eaten? Because it's really gonna be getting down to the nitty gritty. I just wonder who they gonna feed to the feds after that. Okay. God says they come at you one way, and then they flee in 7 different ways. It's one of my favorite scriptures. I believe that's in Deuteronomy. They come at you one way, they flee in 7 different ways. I've been saying this for over a year. In other words, they come at you, the enemy comes at you one way, and they start fleeing and scattering out. They start turning on each other. Okay? They start turning on each other because God will confuse the language. They think that they have concocted a master plan and they're all in agreement, but God will confuse the language. I've been saying it for over a year, and here it is, revelation. It's coming to pass. It's been coming to pass, okay? Because God says, when I get them back, you're going to see me get them back, okay? So nobody, I've been saying it for the longest, anybody that was involved in this is not getting away with it. And they don't need to be mad at me. They need to be mad at whomever. They need to be mad at themselves, basically, because they had no business taking Young Dolph out. It never should have gotten to this point just because of any rap song. But I think they could have dealt with him dissing them, because they've had many people to diss them. They just couldn't deal with him dissing them and being successful. So that it was wrapped up in jealousy. You know what I'm saying? People can laugh at you when you dissing them and you're doing bad. But when you dissing them and you're doing good, that jealousy sneaks in. We all know that jealousy is as cruel as the grave. That's the word right there. Okay. And so, Young Dolph represented his hood. I'm showing a video that I just happened to, it popped up in my feed of a Young Dolph from like 11 years ago. I was like, I got to put this at the end of the video because I want people to see this young man and how proud he was of what he was doing. And it's unfortunate that people just did not want to see him live, okay, as if there was God. They didn't want to see it. But God says, when I get them back, you're going to see me get them back, okay? But I'm going to show this video, okay? I'm going to show this video.
I had Memphis getting it in, man. Got the homie Young Dolph, man. What's going on? I know what it is. Goddamn it, it's your boy Young Dolph. Mr. Extra Ignorant Everything. We in the South right now. You know what I'm saying? You know you're in Memphis, Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? South Memphis, you feel me? And Cash State to be exact. We could have went to the studio or downtown and done some of that old shit or done whatever, but really, you know what I'm saying? I'm showing y'all where this shit really come from, where this shit really came from. You know what I'm saying? Like, the whole movement right now, nigga. This shit, nigga, we rock and roll now. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't about money, it ain't about us. You know what I'm saying? Salute to all the big dogs.
As you can see, Young Dolph had no issues with Yo Gotti. He was paying homage to Yo Gotti even at that point. As you can see from that video, and I didn't even play all of it, okay? He had a winner's mind. He had a winner's mentality, and he always thought about the people that came behind him. If I go off the scene, I'm leaving something for somebody else. That is what he wanted. So when people sit up and talk about everybody else enjoying his stuff, that's what the young man said he wanted. I build so if something happens to me, my people can be straight. I mean, that's where what I come from too. I've left things. I got things in place for my kids, for my mama, for my sister, for my nephew. Just like my dad had things in place for us. I don't. I really, But then I know everybody was raised differently. Okay, so I guess it would be foreign to some people when you find real men that leave things behind for their women so that they can take care of their children. She tried to kill him because she had just wanted his money. Why you leave that money for her, baby? You better get you a real one. Get you a real one because you've been dealing with losers too long because real men have it set up. Even after they gone, they going to set you up and you're going to be straight even after they gone. Let's call a real man. You better get you one. Okay? This man was very selfless. Okay, he was very selfless, and that is the reason why I found it. Okay, I found it important to play this because when he said shout out to Gotti, all the big dogs, that let you know he wasn't jealous of Gotti. He was paying homage to Gotti. So in order for that to change when he came in, because that was already having money, paying homage to Gotti and not having no problems with him. I believe what Dolph said when Gotti turned on him because he wouldn't sign with him and he started getting too much money. He said, I'm getting ready to put Memphis on. And guess what? That's what he did. Okay? Because people all over the world know about Memphis because of Young Dolph. He went in even in death. Okay? But I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. And I hope that you all enjoyed the video. I found that, okay, and I had to put a snippet of that in there because this is a young man that got it out of the mud. And I'm tired of other black men thinking that they just can take somebody's life when they get mad. A lot of these OGs is orchestrating this genocide that's happening in the black community. So I'm glad that they hard on the root of the tree. Y'all know I talk about the roots of the tree all the time, right? I'm happy that they're digging at the root of the tree, and those are a lot of these OGs that's putting money in that's enticing these young dudes with money to go and destroy other people's lives as well as their own lives. They start sending some of these OGs to the death chambers with their old ass. I mean, I think they should go. It's a damn shame to be an old fool. If you such an old jealous fool like that, you need to go to the electric chair. Okay, and then maybe the rest of the OGs can get their damn mind back, and the younger and start raising their sons and being in their lives and instilling value in them and self-worth. Okay, and then maybe the African American race can survive, because at this point, what is going on with the genocide that is being committed in our community by other black people, it's worse than the Holocaust. Okay, it is. And nobody will take their head up out the sand to say that this got to stop. Everybody want to take the money that they're making, and when they get mad with their unstable emotional ass, and go put a bag on somebody, and then want to say, well, we got to get along, nigga. These young dudes gonna get their lick back on your ass, you old fool. You can't put a hit on somebody and take out somebody's loved one and think that now you want to wave the white flag. That nigga dead now. I wants to wave the white flag. We got to come together as black people. These old, oh Lord, stop me. Oh, Lord have mercy. I talks bad about them. How you gonna be in your 40s and 50s and be like that? Okay. Us black people sis got to come together. Nigga, them young dudes gonna blow your ass off. You can't pay nobody to go take they what they call it, they big homie or whatever they call them out, okay? They big dog out. And now because you satisfied, that jealousy that you've had has been fulfilled. You talk about you want to wave the white flag, and they said, no, they're gonna blow your ass off. And they don't stop until they do. You ignite an anger in them. It's not right. Because a lot of them are already emotionally unstable. They'll say, look at what they doing, destroying the community. Now, nigga, you destroying the community because you started all this mess. Okay? You started all this mess. And it's got to stop. Okay? But anyways, you guys, I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App. Child, I would talk, child, please. I talk like this when I'm trying to get my point across to these dudes. When these folks get on here and say, she just be hating, got it. I talk like this to any man, okay? Or anybody. And I'm not just talking to God, I'm talking to every OG that's a damn fool. Okay? They all don't want to hear a black woman tell them you is wrong. Okay? Get back in your son's lives and instill some value. Don't get in their lives and make it worse. Instill some type of self-worth and value and respect. Well, I didn't have nobody to teach me nothing. I'm 55 years old. Nigga, you almost dead. You ought to teach it to yourself at this point. You more than half of 100, some of you. Teach it to yourself. I just had a bad childhood. Nigga, you ain't been a child in almost 100 years. Okay? Then want to make some good woman feel bad about your mishaps. Nigga, you know right from wrong. I ain't never had nobody to give me nothing. And gonna mess these little young dudes' lives up. Send them to the death chair. Electric chair. An OG like that's my age doing this ought to go to the electric chair. Hell, we don't want you. As black women, we shame of you. Committing genocide in a community when they really supposed to be the ones leading. They supposed to be hearing from God and leading the women and the children. And these young dudes that's out there, they the children. They our children. They supposed to be leading us and them. They too stupid. I ain't never had no good did life. Won't nobody give me nothing. Yeah, they need to go to the electric chair. Okay. Sure do. Because they already dead mentally. You might as well go and kill the body. Okay. And then maybe these young dudes will have a chance. Okay. All right. But anyways, you guys, I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App. I love you guys. We're gonna do a live tonight, and I got a different topic. Okay. I'll talk with you later.